What is up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite 6:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time wrestling show, RSH Wrestling, with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host. Wait, you can hear me, right?
I can.
All right, cool. So point at the mic. I'm like, we'll make sure that we're not muted. And your co-host, Yvonne D. Board. And you're still
like, listen, you will listen to me.
You will listen. It's still your reigning defending RSH champion for like a million days or some shit.
905. We're done with the count here.
905.
We're done.
We'll get before 1,000.
No, 1,000.
And the very special returning guest. It's been a while. Used to be on the buzz with us. Now he is at Wrestle Buddy with Josh D. Board, writer, podcaster, all over the place. I call him the JR of Wrestle Buddy.
Absolutely.
Tyler Haters, what's going on, brother?
It is great to be with y'all. Man, what fun I have every time I join you, and I can't wait to break down everything with you. And, man, it's so good to see you guys again. It's been too long. It feels like good old friends from college or something. You've got the drinks ready. I need to be there.
No,
what's
absolutely.
going on? Where's mine? Yeah.
Well, hey, man, just so you know, next week I'll be down in your neighborhood. I'm going to Nashville for a few days, and it's going to be party time. Just
Oh,
so
cool.
You're aware.
Hey, and that's a great country song.
Yeah.
I bet you can get up on stage, and that'll be a Grammy. That'll be
I've
a
been on
hit.
stage once or twice in Nashville. Never invited, but I've been there,
Well, that's a shame. That you need to talk to me, and I'll get the connections like I'm anybody. They'll say, "Who's this guy?"
Oh, they'll
Okay,
know.
Oh,
They all know.
They will.
I got your name in there for some reservations. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time.
Okay, yeah. Just tell them it's me. It's not DDP, but it's DTP. There you go.
It's TPT. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Can't wait to get your insights. Again, it has been way
Oh,
too
well, thank you.
And let's get rolling. Huge week in wrestling. We had, three pay-per-views?
Yeah, we made a lot.
A lot.
And other things.
Yeah, there's always that big question. And what else? Actually, what we wanted other than the pay-per-views, probably the real nitty-gritty.
I think the one thing I actually wanted to see was not taped. So, what are you going to do?
They always do that to us. It's always the people that are there that get the blockbusters, and we get left out. I mean, what happened? I don't know.
We'll figure it out, though. Let's get right into it here. Again, it is your Wednesday Night Wrestling. You're trying. Oh, well, what the hell? Stand by. You might have technical difficulties.
You sound like you got my internet.
I was going to say, Tyler's like, my internet might go out. It's like, hold on.
Dude, it did go off again. My hotspot keeps going off.
What happened? I hope I'm not a bad habit or something, or a curse or anything. My goodness.
Technical difficulties. I did beat Jimmy Bebe, and I called the fucking pinfall. Bailey pinned Bianca.
That's cool. I had Bailey pinning somebody, but it wasn't Bianca.
It was Oscar.
That is awesome. Yeah.
And Shayna lost.
Yep.
Yeah. That and I thing. And dude, and what sucks is I knew all of this shit. I knew there'd be no title changes. But as a, I didn't want to tie.
We didn't want to go through that again.
Well, Jimmy
Yeah, you got to break the tie.
So this is
just
back
like your
right in
boy
the middle.
CM Punk, you
Right.
didn't earn a title shot.
Right back
and
here.
your broken pride, you can go on the IR list with him.
There's some more fighting words, Jimmy, but hey, what can you say, Josh? He did it fair and square.
Hey, gang, just pop in to quit. Say hi. Hi, Cy. Chuck
Hey, Si.
added more stuff to StreamYard, so you have to, chop every individual piece of audio after the show.
Hi, Cy.
So
He's still hungover from the Clash. Lucky
He
dog.
probably
He's
is.
still celebrating. Yeah, that's right. He got to go. That's pretty
Yeah,
badass.
he did.
So thanks for joining the show, Si. You can always check out RSH on Si's network, actually, at SJP World Media. And don't worry, Si, just in case StreamYard screws up tonight, I do have it recording separately on audio only. So we are ready to roll
Yeah, and this
regardless.
is our first ever 6:12 Eastern time.
612. 612.
Oh, you guys are doing amazing. I mean, you ought to see me try to host something. I'll tell you, you're a 10. Mine's about 1 and -2. So.
Well, you are too kind, and you're also full of shit. Knock that off.
I am. No, I was always born like that. I tell people I'm just full of it, literally. Yeah.
It is what it is. Anyway, I do say that you are the JR.
He said awesome.
Awesome.
It's all right, Ty. It only take you 9 hours.
I think
Exactly.
we were
I know
one more
it.
bad recording of getting kicked off the network.
I'll be the first one we got thrown off of. Speaking of things I've been thrown off of, we're on YouTube.
Yep.
Fine.
Oh, hey, congratulations. That is a big milestone.
We
And
have
I
three
think y'all should be.
We have 3 subscribers in 1 month. I'm pretty fucking proud of it.
Exactly.
I'm not sure why.
And
on
one
YouTube
of them is me. So,
And I'll give you 4 because I need to subscribe because I didn't know this. And
That's 4.
by goodness, I'm going to do that. So you got a 4.
people from the show that subscribe. We have 1.
Well, I got three different profiles on there. I can get 3. I can double
I was going to say I'm the 3rd or 4th man of the NWO.
There you go.
Speaking of NWO,
There's a takeover coming.
Yeah.
AEW, anything close to that. But what they do have is a lot of cocaine. And
He looks like Scarface.
dude,
He wishes.
they have an owner.
Exactly.
They have an owner who apparently has lost all fucking control of
And
his
his
company,
mind,
and
on
that's what
top
it
of
looks
that.
like. So we'll start the con early.
Yep.
Leader, fuck no. Owner, unfortunately, businessman. He's a terrible one. Oh, I say I don't fucking know. Read the poster. But
Exactly.
For the audience members, the millions
yeah,
and
all
millions
9 of you, fuck off.
who don't know what happened this weekend, let's kind of break it down real quick.
A lot happened.
So All Out had their pay-per-view that, I heard it was just okay at best. And then after the event, CM Punk was sitting at a table just like this with his CEO boss sitting next to him.
Eating like
A muffin.
yeah.
Sure, got to get the muffins in.
That's what it was?
A muffin.
He was eating pastry like
God.
like nobody's business. He's like
He's hungry. Man.
Has-
he
has
just
blood-
had a match.
has blood on
$50
his-
bucks.
has blood on his
Yeah,
face.
that helped him bury everybody.
And during this post-show interview, somebody asked me, everybody bad in AEW, the Young Bucks, Colt Cabana for some reason, Kenny Omega. I'm not sure if his name was actually physically brought up, but probably, I don't remember. And that happened, and Tony Khan was sitting next to him, looking awkward and pee-pee-eyed and shit, and and then that escalated into. Hold on.
Here's what his expression. He's like, "Oh, he said that. I didn't think he was going to come out and actually, tell on us."
I didn't see the reason why he needed to come out and do any of that.
So right after all that went down, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega came busting into his locker room, ready to street fight, and then a brawl broke out, and now everybody's suspended.
Is that Kenny Omega or the fake
man.
Kenny Omega?
Yep.
That's
It looks like video game Kenny
We
Omega.
got-
It does.
over
Fight
here.
Forever version.
we got the other Ryu over here. I forget that character's name in Street Fighter.
Oh, and don't forget, RSH is sponsored by the new upcoming video game, AEW
Oh, sorry.
Backstage Assault.
I want to play that game.
Only
So do
for,
I.
only
I
for,
do too.
You got to be an overdramatic queen. It looks like he
And he's on the
is a
cover.
heroin addict, even
Yep.
though they claim to be drug free.
Exactly.
And you
That's
just got to constantly bitch about everything in your life.
Every single week. Yep.
Well, that whining and rhetoric gets old. Even if you're wanting to be fair with Punk, it's sure like woe is me. And how many times are you going to sing that song?
Yep. No, I do agree with that.
All right, so what? You're Tony Khan. Oh, Jesus Christ! Hopefully that never happens. What do you do, Tyler? We'll start with you. How do you deal with this situation? There's a lot. I mean, not only that, we were talking about before we came on the air. Malachi Black is gone. Thunder
Right.
Rosa has to be gone.
Which that's breaking news. That's right before the show.
Right
Yeah.
before the
Thunder Rosa
show,
has
yep.
asked for her release.
That's
So like,
crazy.
there's
So much.
a lot of shit going on. How would you handle this? Because Tony Khan is not doing
Nothing.
good so far.
No.
Tony Khan is better when he's away from it and brings in somebody that people respect. That's his issue. Nobody looks to him. He's more of a friend instead of that boss, that authority figure. That's the problem I see. And he panders too much to everybody. And that's where sides get drawn. And I can see where Thunder Rosa, there's so much, coming out that it's just like a bad playhouse. I mean, everybody's going to fight and get their little panties in a wad because I'm not getting in this main event picture. Well, listen, back in the territory days, you had to earn your spot, and that's what you do in most wrestling companies. So pucker up, buttercup, and grow a pair and step up or something, or go home, because I think we're getting tired of it. Even fans that are casually watching it can see it. It's like, get over yourselves and get yourselves over. Quit complaining. And I just see a lot of combination, a mixture of things that are wrong with AEW right now, and there's not enough locker room leaders. There's not an Undertaker. They need an Undertaker in that locker room. Somebody that said, I'm going to hold court. Here's how it's going to go down. If you don't want to do business, I'll take my fists, and you meet me backstage. That's how you get things done. You get people that'll respect you, and that you've got to earn that respect. That's a lying problem that I'm seeing within AEW right now, that Tony Khan needs to step back and hire him somebody like a Regal. He needs to use Regal in that position.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought he was going to do.
They
Exactly.
have a lot.
So did
Even
I.
Regal said, "Fire me if you want to.
Yeah.
I want to defend NXT UK until
he
the end of
will,
my
yeah.
days." He's like, "I don't care who that rubs wrong. Like something that
Needs
can't
to
be
be
a
done.
pleasant place to work right
No,
now, right?"
No, there's so much. Malachi Black, you talked about it. I didn't know about the Thunder Rosa wanting her release, but that is a bad omen from all this media scrum. I mean, you're seeing the chips fall.
That is
Yeah,
your
they're
women's
champion.
Yeah, they're champion. Yeah.
I mean, what's that saying about your product? I mean, here was this supposed to be this alternative, and you got a TV deal, and now all these stars that you've signed up and have promised everything, they've got pushed all of a sudden. It's the environment. They don't want to be a part of it. It's toxic. And, when you want to get in that kind of atmosphere, it lends itself to division, and that's what we're seeing. It's not that it's not happening in other promotions, but it's become too much of a common recurrent theme. And that is the issue, I feel.
Yeah, this is the difference between Vince and Tony Khan.
Exactly.
absolutely-
This shit would not fly in WWE.
No, it wasn't.
Vince was smart enough to hire people to take care of shit like
Yeah,
that.
like,
Absolutely.
and if shit hit the fan,
Exactly.
Vince would take care of it.
Yeah, he
I mean, you
was.
just see what
Yep.
he did for his company. Like, granted, a choice that he had, but like he did it.
He
He
did.
could have stayed around.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
could.
He didn't. They didn't force him to fucking leave. Like he decided, for the better of
did.
He
it.
may have forced other people to fuck him. Anyway,
Hey.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but you already did. But no, Vince McMahon, to your point, he commanded and demanded respect. He would get in wrestlers' face, not being a bully, but he wanted to show them. Yeah, he's like, hey, listen, you're going to either do this or I'm going to fire you. You're not going to get your pay. But he was also very reasonable with them if they showed him the proper respect. And that's something you're seeing a disconnect with in AEW, I feel like. And that's not being partial. It's just what it is.
it's very easy to see.
Yeah,
It is,
I mean, yeah. It's buddy. It's
Exactly.
like,
It
now,
is.
now,
did you see him during the news conference?
yeah, it was a joke. It was scary.
Like he's just
It's
sitting there,
terrible.
like,
Don't
we
oh,
have a-
sorry.
Don't we have a
I
picture?
should have asked further about that question last week or something.
There should have been a lot of pictures of it.
like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Look at them eyes. They're just confused as fuck.
Look at his
So-
mouth.
Look at Punk's big ears and his muffin. Okay.
Oh, now-
Who wrote that or drew the picture was pretty brilliant. That's good.
I was on Twitter.
We don't give credit on
That's
our
what-
show.
I'm not going to give any credit either. I was going to tease and say I did it, and that way you so, just shows my bad handwriting, but that's actually a good photo.
But
That
now,
is.
Tyler, to your credit, or not to your credit, but to argue you, I guess I should say, the buck stops here is the mentality, right?
It is.
And one problem we have in AEW is not only Tony Khan, he's a huge problem, but part of that problem is we have people like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks full-time who are also in a higher position as EVPs writing this shit. They're the boss of their coworkers, and because of that, they're always on top. And I feel like that's also a huge disconnect with the locker room because their so-called Undertaker could arguably be Kenny Omega, who is arguably using his power to always put himself fucking over along with the little girls, the Young Bucks. And I think that's a huge problem. Why do we have full-time talent in leadership positions backstage? That makes zero fucking sense. They're doing what Triple H was being accused of doing back in like 2001 and
to your point, what you
2002.
said before we went on. Why do you think Cody left?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's
Cody left,
great.
yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, obviously, shit was been going on for a long
Like
time. to
Cody's
make Cody
sitting at
move.
home, like I knew.
Yeah, he. Oh,
Dude,
absolutely.
We knew.
Just
I
wait.
knew.
There's going to be an interview one day where he's going to be like, "I saw this coming."
We knew it.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. He already kind of did. If you
Because he knew it was risky to go
Yeah.
back to WWE, but he's like, "Fuck it."
If
Like,
you watch that Stone Cold podcast, all he does, like Stone Cold brings it up. He's like, we did good stuff. They're making money. I had to leave. Like he obviously didn't bring it up.
Just don't. Yeah, he leaves it alone because he knows to your guys' observation there. He was thinking, hey, it's my redemption story too. That was the appeal, but he also saw the writing on the wall. He knew Tony Khan couldn't wrangle everybody,
He
and
spun it.
Cody.
He spun it.
At least while he was there, he may have took some criticism, but at least things were better. I feel like since he's left, you can't tell me it's not the wheels aren't falling off a little bit.
Oh,
so to
absolutely.
go more
Right.
into detail about this scrum, apparently when Punk got up after his running out, foaming out the mouth for
After he retained the title.
Exactly.
no, he won it back.
He won
Or
it
whatever.
back.
Remember, he
Yeah.
just lost it. Remember, he
you're
got
right.
squashed.
I forgot about that match. You're right.
What
Yeah.
a joke. I
But-
And what's that say about a guy you're trying to build your company around him? He's got this big return, and yet he's going to make fun of talent
That's
right
like,
there in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You can't. Making CM Punk the face of your company is your first fucking
It's a
problem.
mistake.
Like,
Yeah.
it's your first issue.
Well, I feel like, and to kind of argue that a little bit, I think CM Punk in his mind tells it how it is.
CM Punk.
And that's probably not all the way wrong with these fools. We got people like, I like Adam Page, but if he's really not listening or wanting attention, like Daniel Bryan is teaching these Bryan Danielson is teaching these classes, and
Well,
no
he's
one's
all
going.
pissed at him because Adam Page Punk was like,
Sure, he ran his mouth a little bit.
No, Page was like, yeah, I haven't asked Punk for help. Like,
Sure.
I'm good. And like, you piece of shit,
No.
I could help. It's like you took it this
And
to
I agree
this
with that.
extreme.
I agree with that.
Like, this is a little bit extreme.
If that's the case, I definitely agree with that.
That's
But
what
it
it's-
might be a build-up thing, though, to where no one's getting better where they should be getting better. Then we got these veterans like Bryan Danielson, William Regal, even John
Yeah, but
Moxley,
like-
and Punk.
You're not going to take their advice. I mean, that's crazy to me. How are you going to be a better wrestler if you're not listening to experience? I just never got that with
I'm
people.
pretty sure
People.
pretty sure Adam Page got his heart broken when he
Oh, yeah.
realized that Brock Lesnar's cowboy shit's more real than
Let's
his.
not go.
Well, I
that
really like
far.
Adam Page.
I do too.
But it's just one of those things. This whole thing isn't just because of one thing.
No,
it's
it's
a
a lot of shit.
combination of
But,
Combination of problems.
the
Yeah.
Ace-
Yeah, it's a domino effect.
right.
Hit the young butt, hit Nick Jackson in the face with a chair,
I saw that.
Ah,
and like
wait.
fucked up his eye pretty good.
Which makes me fucking
So
laugh.
he's getting reports are he's going to be terminated,
well, that's
and
fine.
I don't
Worth
know.
it, in my
but
opinion.
here's the thing.
Oh wow.
Here's the thing. That's Punk's like wrestling coach.
Sure.
Oh
So
yeah.
if they fire him,
He'll probably.
how do you think his react? What do you? All right, I'll ask all of you this: would you fire CM Punk?
I would not know.
I would.
I would.
I mean, I would want to.
This
I
is
would,
this is
but-
Tony Khan's chance
From what
to
we know,
show
of,
that he's not a little pussy.
I think I disagree with
If
that.
he fires CM Punk for going into business for himself a couple weeks ago, he takes over a news conference, which that's not the reason. Did you see WWE like did press conferences after Clash, and it was really cool to like sit. They sat down
Yeah.
about the match and what's
Sure.
coming up.
Mhm.
That's how a news conference is supposed to work.
Absolutely.
So your biggest guy talking shit, burying, as Tyler perfectly put. That is when
Yeah.
he's just
It is.
the EVP
It is.
suck who just won your newly very high
Yeah.
trios championship,
Yeah.
by the way.
And they wrote
Yeah.
themselves into it.
They
So,
did,
like,
yeah.
That's what's silly
and then
about
like
it.
so
Yeah.
then
Yeah, it's crazy.
and they defend the like
No, they didn't defend. Here's the problem: we have EVPs, corporate level guys who should be professionals, busting into a
well,
guy's
you know
locker
whose
room.
fault it is? You
Yeah.
know whose fault it is their EVPs? Fucking Tony Khan.
Exactly.
Why do
His
you
fault.
have
Buck
like you
stops
said,
here.
why do you have talent?
Buck stops here. That's
Yeah.
Why
Tony
do you
Khan.
have
That is
talent?
him. Yep.
Like he's to blame for all of it.
He is
And then
He's
Chuck
showing
goes,
his inexperience. Yeah.
That's like, oh, tonight he's hyping up Dynamite. We have big announcements. Yeah, you got to sort out your whole fucking locker room. Like,
You got chaos.
Why-
everywhere.
Why do you have to have an announcement every time? It's make it special and not have it every week.
every Quake by the lake, Snake by the lake, first dance, last dance, middle dance. How many?
We've got a tiger by the lake or by its tail. I don't know.
All out.
every Wednesday. There's some kind of a fighter fest week, not day
Night
8.
one, night
It's
two.
like, what the fuck?
Well, now we have.
Now you're gonna have a 2-hour rampage here soon.
There's no all out fallout. There's like the fucking backstage briefing fallout.
Backstage-
Well,
I'm done.
yeah, the bloom is off the rose for Punk. It's a tough issue for me, but I don't know. His history so far, I wanted to kind of give him a pass, but I can't anymore. He's really just digging himself even farther. I mean, he is.
Booker T said an intervention is needed for all of AEW.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Tony Khan also.
As on a business standpoint, I have to see why you'd fire CM Punk. At the same time,
And let me layer my argument.
sure.
CM Punk is seriously injured again, and he will be
Yeah.
relinquishing the championship.
Of course.
Sure.
Once again.
So let me just break this. Let me use an analogy since football's back tomorrow, right?
Oh,
College
boy.
is back, NFL's back.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
excited.
You got we have this very talented wide receiver, okay? He comes in, he causes a little bit of shit. He rubs people the wrong way. Like when he plays, he's the fucking man.
Sure.
But he's always hurt. And anytime a big game comes up, he gets hurt. And then he bitches, cusses, complains about his teammates in interviews after the game. And
You're talking about Chad Johnson right now.
no.
Oh, that's who it was.
I was
Okay.
gonna say go.
But like,
I was gonna say go.
you would cut that guy. Like,
Sure.
when is the because we disagree on like his impact with AW. I think it's been minimal. You think it's been a little more, not crazy, but like
Sure.
you think it's been more than
I
minimal.
think it's been better.
I look at the
Still
ratings.
stable.
You don't give a fuck about
Right.
it. I use it because it's
Yeah.
all we have.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
Drip wants to say, well, streaming service, nobody cares. Like the ratings are there for a
Money
reason.
comes from the ratings.
Ratings is
Good.
what gets TV deals, which is why you can watch AEW
Yep.
on
That's where
TV.
the money comes
Also, they're negotiating a TV deal right now. This is a great fucking
That's a
time
great
for
way.
this.
That's a great
I mean,
start.
At least
Wow.
TBS and TNT showing that this is a world class.
It's not a good look.
It's
And-
not at all.
Not so far.
And I want to quote Eric Bischoff: "You fire the son of a bitch.
I like Eric
Not worth it
Bischoff.
no more.
Yeah.
He's just not worth it. Is it worth it getting 1.2 million
No.
viewers every 6
It's
weeks
not
when
worth
CM
it,
Punk
no.
has a match on
It's
Dynamite?
better than 800,000, I guess.
That's what they are still pulling that with him on there.
That's-
Like they don't consistently hit him. Like I think people are fucking nuts. Like he's just been gone for 2 months.
Yeah.
He's been out,
Yeah.
and they're still doing fine. They don't need him.
They
They
don't
have
need him.
talent layered
No, I agree
throughout
with that.
that.
No
fucking-
company should need one man.
Like
No,
if,
they-
you got
if that's the
people like
case, that's the problem.
Andrade bitching about his screen time.
Yep.
Sure.
Like I told you guys, Tony Khan, you coke-headed fuck. I told you this was going to happen.
You did.
You have 90 people for 4 hours of TV a
It's
week.
not
Well,
gonna
sorry,
happen.
you have 30 hours of AEW Dark that nobody watches.
No.
But
Well, are we firing Omega too? Because he came busting in,
No.
throwing fists.
Oh God, no.
Why not? What
Yeah,
about
I don't
Punk?
know.
you don't fire them
These are
because
corporate
Punk
people.
talk shit.
They are corporate people. They had punks. So you're just gonna be a baby.
No,
you're gonna
Punk-
be a
no,
big baby
Punk-
about it.
Punk
Oh,
has-
you said bad things about me. So I'm
Dude,
gonna come fight you in your
This
locker room.
is a theme with Punk's
It kinda
behavior.
is.
Like,
It is.
like,
Behavioral
he goes in
health.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it
Tony
escalates.
Khan is like CM Punk's done with AEW. It doesn't fuck. If he goes out there tonight and puts it into a fucking storyline, I will
Oh,
fucking.
That's what he's doing.
He's
I
gonna
will
kick the
fucking
show
lose my
off
mind
tonight.
because
He's gonna kick it
He
off.
can't come
He's
up with
going to.
any storylines himself that are good. So he's gonna like
Make
use
up.
shit that he doesn't really need to fucking
And
joke
give
about
give
right
himself
now.
credit. For
Seriously
it too.
though, how
Yeah.
cool or funny? I would laugh. How funny would it be if Tony Khan comes out and says, "Welcome to AEW Dynamite," and then walks out like Vince did.
He's
when that
gonna
shit
kick
came
it
out.
off,
I would
too.
laugh
He's
my
like-
ass off.
I just
Oh, he can't help himself. He that's the thing. You got to have some
Yeah.
that gumption to stay away. You don't make an announcement, but don't get overly hyped or giddy about every
right now AEW
every
has
declaration.
no champion.
Nope.
The women's
Again.
champion once released. Malachi Black just got released.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Your pay-per-view, which was average by I have some
I've heard it was
friends that like
average, yeah.
AEW as well, and I've read a bunch
It
of
was all
reviews.
right.
Average seems to be
Average.
what the
Yeah.
consensus.
And when you
oh
have,
my
like-
god, I can't talk.
Yeah.
Consensus. I thought
I never can talk. Don't feel bad, Josh. I just say it's that Southern slang or something. I can't say much anyway.
I blame my parents for mine. They birthed me. It's their fault.
I just this is bad. It's bad.
It's a bad look for him. It is.
Yeah, it's awful because here AW wanted to get momentum, and you're getting all these issues too many times. We're seeing it reported. It's just like,
public. Yep.
yeah, they made it to public knowledge, but that's the bad thing about some of the sources that are leaking it out. I mean, that doesn't help you when they're fans of you anyways, and every little negative thing is coming out, and then it's getting verified, and it just, man, it's a mountain of troubles.
And it all involves.
So I'm the
CM
only
Punk.
one that
Promise.
fire Punk.
I mean, I would.
And that's not even because I can't
I'm in
stand
the-
the fucker anymore.
No,
It's
I
like,
mean, you're
this
not.
is Tony
You're not.
be like, you're gonna put. All right. So let me. Why since Tony Khan? Okay. So I guess he did like a bad rail or something because he was fired up at the very end of this news conference as well. Bitching about WWE putting on shows on Labor Day weekend when he claims
Yeah, I
that's,
saw that.
Oh
that's
my God.
I'm not
AEW.
gonna
That was petty. Yeah,
I'm not gonna
that was
take-
childish.
You
What
think
a
I'm going to
little
sit
girl,
here and
dude.
take this shit? You know
Yeah,
what,
you
Tony?
are.
You know
You
what,
are.
Tony? Yeah, because you know why? Because you sit there like a fucking garden gnome when your talent is just burying your other talent.
Yeah.
And then if the Punk shit ain't enough, Storm's like burying Thunder Rosa. You're
Right.
sitting there and
That's why she
smirking,
wants
and
out.
that's why she wants out.
That's sad.
Because she doesn't trust Tony Khan. The bookings
That is
all
pitiful.
over the place.
It's pitiful.
It's erratic
Hey,
booking.
Cargill's not happy with her booking. She's like 58-0. Like,
Yeah,
what is she got?
37-0.
Like, she's fucking the TBS champion.
Miro's not happy.
yeah, she's unhappy.
She's not here happy. Andrade is not happy. Neville's not happy.
Nope.
I don't know what the fuck. Sorry.
It shows
But,
what
like,
Tony Khan.
I still thought no.
Half the roster is not happy.
That's not a good. No,
And,
it's
like,
not
it's
good. Under his watch,
It's
it
very
is.
bad.
Yeah, the morale is definitely down from what it was when they first came in, and I think they've got that taste and experience of AEW, and it's been negative. It's not, unfortunately, it's not been positive.
CM Punk's giving the company a bad
You guys-
look for sure.
I saw a
He
pretty,
really is.
a pretty good analogy the other day that a lot of these guys, Young Bucks, Omega, not necessarily CM Punk, he's not been in a leadership role, but they all come in from the Indies and they think they can run this multi-million-dollar company like the Indies. You can't.
Nope.
It's a completely separate entity. And to have Tony Khan crying on TV, I'm not going to take it from WWE.
Oh, for
I'm going
God.
to call my dad. Like, what the fuck is
Man
that?
up.
Man up.
You
Get some
wussy.
grapefruits and make a
Jeez.
fucking good quality show. Do you think Vince McMahon cried when Ted Turner bought WCW? Nah.
He's a little kid.
He
We
invented
know
The
Tony Khan's a
Undertaker.
kid.
No.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin. Make a good product, and then maybe you can get back.
And
Yeah, it's immaturity.
It
Yeah,
is.
He's a little kid.
And
He really
Inexperience
is.
and immaturity.
he has it. He has what he needs on his roster.
He has everything
That's
he
the
needs.
problem.
It is.
He
His
just don't
name's
know how to use it
MJ
properly.
fucking F.
Yeah.
And, like, he's there.
The
and
one
like
good
his
thing.
return,
Yep.
which Tyler said before you came on there, was well done. Which the joke,
I thought it was kind of
Look,
weak,
look,
but
look,
it is what it is.
the Joker thing, like I guess it's just been done so many times.
You
I'm not
skip-
saying-
You just get
But
sick
but
of
I
it.
do. There's this dude I follow on Twitter. I'll forget his name because I don't follow many people on Twitter. But he said, "Your talent's bitching about not getting airtime. So yeah, sign Big Cass. That'll make them happy."
Yeah,
Right.
I forgot about
I
that.
did
What
too.
is that?
What the heck is that about?
No, they brought him in because he was at Impact, and then they
Yeah,
so, like,
they
kind of
bring
got him
him
in.
there.
They did.
And they're putting all these people in Malcolm Bivens or Stoke Holloway, whatever the fuck
yeah.
his name,
Yeah,
his
Malcolm
stable.
Bivens,
So
yeah.
like
However you say it.
MJF is the one that got Morrissey to come.
Mhm.
But like all your established talent that's been there for
It's
a while is
complete-
all.
Yeah.
So now you
Yeah.
bring in another guy who's going to be heavily featured with MJF now because that
Mhm.
group they're forming
Right.
with the ass. I don't like how they call it the ass.
I
boys.
don't
It's-
either.
See little
It's
shit
weird.
like that.
Yeah.
is-
I agree.
Yeah, and that's what happened. The problem is Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor, and I think that's another issue. That roster is so bloated that you've got so much talent that he's kind of overbooked himself with like trying to come up with angles and stories, and you frustrate people,
He ran
and
out of
you get these
stuff.
issues. Yeah,
Exactly.
Remember
That's-
when
that's
he first started? He said that he was going to use Nitro to take ideas of booking.
He did.
Tony Khan did.
That's what he said when he first opened
Wow.
up AEW.
He shouldn't
Because
be-
Bischoff-
he shouldn't
The
be
company who
booking,
lost. That's a terrible
no,
idea.
no, the
That
company that won. For,
yeah. And what did Bischoff have to say about that? Because he's probably like, that's pretty idiotic. Why would you do that?
I think Bischoff has made his feelings clear about AEW.
How he-
over the
he's
last
right,
couple
yeah,
months.
he's
let's,
right.
let's put that in perspective. So let's I'm just doing some, not very good at it, but I'm doing some math here in my head. He's using Nitro. Nitro was good for 83 weeks. How many weeks are we into AEW? I think we ran out of the good Nitro episodes.
Is that-
He's been playing.
No, we did. That's a fair comparison. I know people are like, well, you're just being too harsh, but no, that's the reality.
I mean,
What are you going to do? I mean, you're running out of. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Here's what he said. Eric Bischoff on adfreeshows.com. His podcast is really fucking good. Regarding Tony Khan, he said he feels sorry for him. He said at some point you got to let this shit go. You can't let it get in the way of how you're perceived as a character. I don't have anything personal against Punk. I lost a lot of respect based on this stupid shit that he keeps saying.
that's
And
fair.
it doesn't mean I dislike him or want him to fail or whatever. He's a guy who's supposed to be a baby face. Whining. He's fucking whining.
Yeah,
Punk started
exactly.
shit. Now if it's for creative reasons because there's a plan, then it is what it is. But I have a feeling that it's not. And this is actually going to go somewhere, and we're on the first quarter mile of a 20-mile journey, and it's not leading to anywhere pleasant.
No.
This is not cool as shit if they think it is. But if what we are seeing, I'm fucking mixing all the lines.
No, I agree with those words, though. I mean, if anybody knows, you can say what you want to about Eazy-E, but the man's got experience. I mean, so that's wise words. And that's the thing. I mean, he's supposed to be this hero, and he's coming out just saying, oh, Colt Cabana, this, regardless whether your personal feelings, don't air them out in front of a press conference. And that media scrum, well, Bischoff also stated, didn't he, Josh, that it's a joke anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
He followed that up. He said, I feel bad for Tony Khan. In many respects, he set himself up for this.
Yep.
Sure.
Whatever this ends up being, and he's paying that asshole lots of money.
Yep, he is.
He's paying CM Punk a fortune, and CM Punk's just cutting his balls off.
Yep.
Not only in front of everybody else on the roster, in front of the whole world, in front of the executives, in front of Walter or Warner Discovery, in front of potential sponsors, potential advertisers, and they're negotiating a TV deal. This is something
not
you
a
need
good
to have
look for
happening
that.
right now.
No,
right?
Not a good look.
Then he said, one of the things I found really interesting watching this back is the irony. You know, here's irony in the sense that CM Punk is talking about how unprofessional Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are, and then Tony Khan's sitting right there undermining the company, talking about how unprofessional someone else is, and Khan just sits there
like a
smiling.
bitch.
Like he was surprised or anything. Come on. Are you really going to buy and tell me you didn't think CM Punk was going to go into business a little bit? I mean, you know, I'm trying to be respectful and not be so much against Punk, but he's kind of made himself this way. He's presented himself. So it's hard to argue. Yeah, and it comes off that way.
Now, they don't know what the future holds. He is not in Buffalo. He is at his home in Chicago, and he does have a severe injury.
Well, CM Punk, he's not going to be there.
So,
he's all about himself.
we might have seen the last CM Punk in AEW.
There's always TNA.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just selfish of him. And I think all these sides, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's got control, and that's the problem. Even with the elite. I mean, I can see the problems like you guys were discussing, Cody. He saw the grass was greener on the other side. He wanted to be back in WWE. And if he wasn't injured, he would be still rocking and rolling. It's just that injury. The way they pushed him.
Yeah, man, that injury may be a blessing because I think he got so big so fast, he may burn out a little bit. So he's going to be gone for a while and be able to come back and do it again. You know what I mean?
That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a good observation.
So let's transition to WWE. Because as much as Chuck loves it, I'm so sick of opening up this show with 40 minutes of
just the negativity that is behind the scenes.
Train wreck, man. What can I say?
We like chaos, don't we? Hey, that's your own segment.
Let's transition to other news. Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Starting immediately.
That's sad.
Is leaving SmackDown.
Sad.
I've got tears in my eyes.
It's a huge gig. College Game Day is huge. He will be back in January when college football is over. So he will be there from January through August. So I think everybody's like, it's kind of shitty that he's gone.
It is.
Who would you guys replace him with?
Oh, boy.
You guys tell
Michael
me.
Cole needs a fucking Michael Cole can't.
No, he does. That's a great question. No, not me.
Pick Tyler. Pick Tyler.
That's kind, but man, McAfee.
There you go.
What? Who is it?
Go make that Fox money.
With Michael Cole.
I know. I need to. Hey, listen.
Michael
I'll be professional, and I'm not going to bury anybody. I'm going to be up their butts and saying, "Hey, give me a raise." And
you're going to throw chairs at people backstage?
No, gosh, no, not when even the women can beat me up. I'm going to say, hell, that's seriously. I mean,
what if Baron Corbin disses you?
I know.
That'll be a compliment. I'm like, can I get your autograph? I'll be a big fanboy. He'll laugh at me.
I got his autograph. Tyler.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You guys, I'm envious. You were able to meet him and get a picture with him.
Yep.
So
we were talking shit to him too.
We watched him
and he liked it.
Oh, you were.
Oh,
Not really.
I've grown to respect him a lot more too, because I feel like I didn't get his character at first, but man, he's a legit boxer. I mean, played football. The guy's a real tough guy. So I love how he gets heat that way, because people don't fully appreciate his legitimacy.
That's why he's
Baron
still
Corbin.
He survived all those layoffs because of his talent to be in the ring and talk and all that stuff.
Yeah, you got to reinvent yourself. I mean, we've seen it with Austin and Dustin Rhodes when he was Goldust. I mean, going back to the Attitude Era, there's been that. So
absolutely, that's what Jericho says. If you don't recreate yourself, you're going to get lost and you're going to be gone. And that's why he has a million gimmicks. He has a list of gimmicks.
And
not like Jericho, but he can't. He's coming off as petty though too. I mean,
he has.
It's time to get older.
Yeah. All his groups and all that stuff.
I love working for the greatest wrestling company. All right,
he needs to quit lying on national TV.
I think Nigel McGuinness needs to take that role.
That's a great choice. He would be great.
He's down, and he did UK or he did NXT.
That's probably I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, he did. He did NXT.
An episode of SmackDown when
Mr. Perfect's son? Is that what I'm thinking of?
No, that's Curtis Axel.
Oh, but what's his real name? I thought his real name was like Nigel McGuinness.
No, they're not the same.
Oh, all right.
Nigel McGuinness was T's commentary, and then when they got trapped in Saudi, he did commentary.
Okay.
Okay.
He was like the backstage interview guy because he was feeding people.
I remember that. I do remember that.
But,
He really can analyze the color aspect very well,
Yes.
being a former wrestler. That's what's good about it.
It's like how Tyler was making fun of like JR, like, what's that flippy shit, Excalibur? Like Michael Cole just doing Michael Cole's thing, and Nigel can just, oh yeah, this did this. Nigel's really,
That's what
and he's already on the payroll, and he's already there.
There we
The
go.
alternative
True.
is let's fucking move Graves, and it's like no,
Oh, God,
like
no.
no, just leave the 3-man team alone and give them somebody new.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, Graves to me's inbred and raw too much. I think you got to go with somebody new.
I like
Yeah.
Corey
I
too.
wonder if is there anybody available? that
Oh, I
you-
like Graves too.
I do too.
Is there anybody?
I'm trying to
available
think.
to
I can't-
fucking
it's-
Todd Phillips is on Impact.
Yeah, I forgot.
What's
Maybe
Jerry
they can
Lawler
hire.
doing? Bring back Jerry for
Maybe
for a
they
season.
no. There's enough.
Josh Lawns
There's
the
enough
king. We
sex
know
scandals around WWE right now.
that is true.
Have him running around the stands.
Ooh, I got one. This may be a little out there, but he's done it in the past, and it was really, really good. Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Paul Heyman would be. Yeah, he'd be
I like
good.
Paul Heyman.
Well,
That'd be
Tony
good.
Khan's like Paul Heyman.
He wishes.
Remember?
He wishes. And
Oh
I-
yeah, he tried to tell everybody he was just like Heyman. I'm creative. I'm like, man, Tony, you've got a long way to go, buddy. That's
Not
like me
even
saying
close.
I'm JR. You know, that's good.
Cocaine is one hell of a drug. Look at him.
We can tell he's been taking it.
Well, Pat, I'm sad he's gone.
I am too.
Same. That bummed me
Oh,
out.
I'm very sad too. He added so much charisma. I mean, he was a natural. Whether it was football, you put him in wrestling, he's going to do wonders for College Game Day.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
ready
he's
to
gonna
pop.
kill it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
does it so
I'll
well.
miss him on SmackDown because he was such a presence, and we all got so used to him. When I first heard the buzz about him, and then I got to listen to him and watch him, I'm like, Pat McAfee's made for this role.
He is.
I agree.
And knowing that he's a fan like us, we all can kind of resonate with him too. That's what we would want to do if we get a chance to call action. We'd want to, express our fandom in a way, but make it seem professional like he does.
True. And I kind of talk shit about him because I always knew who he was as a football player. Then he was on Bob and Tom a lot. So I actually heard him like way before his wrestling stuff. And I was like, he's funny on there. Like, he could be a comedian if he wanted to. So it turns out this guy can just do whatever the fuck he wants. He's going to be good at it. Like, he has
Yeah, like he's a great wrestler too. So I mean, he can go in the ring and face a Corbin and do whatever he wants to. I mean, so I've grown to really respect Pat McAfee. He just brings a lot to the table. I mean, you could put him anywhere and he'd do fine.
And he kills everything he does.
I remember he told a story on Bob and Tom once. He was just telling a story. Like, I was young, a football player, young, mid-20s, early 20s, and I wanted a wrestling ring. So I bought a fucking wrestling ring, put it in my yard, and made my budget.
Who moved Barrett to SmackDown?
I was just thinking, why can't you?
Wade Barrett?
I like Barrett on
I'll dig
SmackDown.
it.
I like it.
Yeah, Wade Barrett's
I like
good.
Wade Barrett just got that.
I like that accent too. I think that helps because he's already got that heel voice.
He got that,
I wouldn't mind him being kind
I
of
like
that
that.
heel.
he got that nice fat contract extension.
I like
so
that.
like
Deal.
put him up for a little.
Him
That,
and
that
Michael
hurt
Cole, I
NXT
like
because him and Joseph are very
They're
good.
good together.
Look, can
They've
you
got
go?
chemistry.
They do.
Different.
I
Nice.
guess different locations.
But you got a day to get over there.
That's a lot though.
Yeah. it is
Over
a lot.
like
Yeah.
that's why McAfee couldn't do SmackDown. He's like, I could travel.
That's
Like,
a lot.
That'd be a lot.
Yeah. They're
I'll
right.
tell you, and this has nothing to really do with McAfee, but I'll tell you who has been impressing me, and he's really good, is Jimmy Smith on Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. He's been
I
really
think
good.
all the announcers have gotten better
Yeah.
since Vince left.
I agree.
Michael
And they
Cole's
don't have
lost his
somebody in
mind.
their ear screaming at them the whole time.
Yeah, Vince is not like, okay, you got to say that. Come on. He's like, okay. You know.
Michael Cole.
You better keep it progressive
We
every
see
30
Michael
seconds.
Cole
Say
lose
progressive.
his mind every week,
That's
so-
what it felt like. Okay, progressive, and we've got noodle soup coming up
Yeah.
next. They're sponsoring the drop kick or something. I don't know.
That's funny.
The Clash at the Castle.
Oh, that was a pay-per-view this weekend. We can get into Clash of the
There
Castle.
we go. Yep.
So we got.
That was a great show.
It was a good show.
We'll start. What the fuck was the first match?
Even my wife enjoyed the show,
What
and
was
she hates
the
wrestling.
women's 6-man.
Woman's. Yep.
Mhm.
Bam.
We'll post
Let
it.
me
Cool.
get the Pat McAfee shit off here. Bam.
There we go.
All right. Dakota Kai, Damage Control. That is their name.
Damage.
It is indeed.
And
It fits
they
them
won.
perfectly.
Bailey pinned Bianca, setting up their inevitable match at Extreme Rules,
Yep.
which I'm sure will be announced at some point in the near future.
That was a good
Um,
match.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that it opened the show, but other than that,
It was a good match.
was
I
fine.
enjoyed it.
Where would you put Josh? Probably somewhere in the middle, or maybe after the first.
I would put Gunther and Sheamus first.
I agree.
That was the rumor.
And then I would have put this right after it.
I agree. I'd switch it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that either, man. After that match, my goodness.
Ooh.
That match.
Poor Sheamus.
I think that's next.
Wore me out, man.
This
It
match
did.
was good.
So much chaos. So much.
It set up Bayley and Bianca, which we knew they're headed that way. And then you got Io Sky and so with Monday Night Football coming back, they loaded up Raw next week. I was wondering why. I was like, dude, they're stacking it.
They
Like,
are.
God knows
And that's smart too, because I didn't think about that either with competing against Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football starts at 8 at the same
boy.
time. They're
Ooh,
literally
that's gonna
head
be
to
tough.
head.
Yep.
Tony Khan. That's what head to head means, you dumb fuck. But good match. I mean, it's what I thought it was.
Yep.
It showed
We knew damage
control
was
looked really fucking good, and I figured that was
They've
the
been
point.
dominant since they've been there.
No, they did. I like Io Sky versus Asuka and it made sense that they were a team in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Man, their chemistry was great. I liked how they interacted. Bianca Belair
Mania match. Yeah.
was awesome, and Dakota Kai. I just love seeing that faction. Bayley is just continues to impress. She's on a whole nother level, and I'm starting to get kind of a crush on her. I'm starting to scare myself. Yeah.
Oh,
I got a question.
here we go. We knew it.
Did she on this past Saturday afternoon? Did she smell more like pickles or ketchup? Because I smelled ketchup.
Because the look in her hair, she looks like ketchup.
They go back and forth, but I smelled for whatever reason she's on screen. Ketchup. I bought Big Mac. Dude. I went and bought Big Mac after I saw her. Had to have that ketchup place.
Eating it as you're
cheeseburger.
watching Bailey. That's all.
There you go. I'll get it more of that. But that's interesting. You never know what you're going to learn. I get an education every time.
Every
Now
time.
I'll have to get a big burger and think of ketchup when I watch.
Dude, when you eat a big old greasy, fully
Just get it all over.
ketchup cheeseburger, you think of Bailey
I can't
immediately.
fucking deal with you.
I don't know why.
I don't know
I've
why
seen her in
either.
real life.
She
I smell
smells like
ketchup.
pickles.
Well,
I see
I'll
her.
take the blame because I brought her up.
That's all right.
Oh no, I mean it's the match.
Yeah. But I thought it was a solid match, though. But I'm with you. A little bit odd for it to open up the show.
It was.
I do like heel. I do.
That huggy stuff had to stop.
Her-
This is more her.
Her absence was definitely noticed when she was gone as a heel. I like her. But she's still smells like ketchup.
damage dominant since they've returned, and they're not going to stop it.
And she's good at it. She's good at
She's
being a
good.
leader.
She is.
And do you think they need more members, or is that going to kind of dilute it?
I like 3.
I do too.
We don't
I
need
think you
4.
get too many, it kind of hurts it. You
Yep.
need to keep it like the 3 original that you have.
Yep.
I agree. Once we start getting more in there, like we were Judgment Day, we're getting more and more. Like we don't need. I think Evolution was a good example of you don't need more. After you get your set stable,
That's all you need.
you don't need more. DX kept getting more. NWO got all the roster.
I was about to say NWO. Yeah, I ended up being the company for.
right. So I like a good trio. There's no reason to get 4. Judgment Day is there for that. We don't need more than 3. I think.
Well, that's what made Hogan, Hall, and Nash special. That was a problem. It made certain members of incarnations of DX special. Not knocking them because somehow it worked when they got more members. But like the Nation of Domination, for examples.
Sure. Yep. I agree with all that. I think three's good.
Yeah, Three's Company.
Great show.
That is a good show.
All right,
Yeah, it is.
match of the night.
Absolutely.
100% agree.
All of the show.
So me and Chuck talked before we came on air. It's like it's hard when a match gets scheduled for a pay-per-view and you look at it and you're like, this match is going to be amazing and it's going to deliver and it's going to be great. And then they actually go out there and do it.
Yep.
And then take it even a little bit further.
They did.
These dudes beat the fuck out of each other.
Holy crap.
Like they
out
chop
gosh,
the fuck out of each other. They smack the fuck out of each other. Yeah, like
It went nuts.
It looked real.
It did.
Oh, they took some punishment. I mean, even Triple H made the comment in the press conference. These guys worked their tails off. I mean, they were telling a story. It was good to see Sheamus back in Britain, close, to Ireland. A lot of them got their start in Wales. Didn't realize that. Kind of got a history lesson. But to see Gunther with Imperium, how cool was that?
oh, that was
cool.
so they read Imperium
That was
too.
Yes.
I love that. Love it.
See, and they're over, man, because the NXT UK and just watching WWE. So naturally, people are going to go, "Whoa, we didn't expect this," and then they come out, and then the Brawling Brutes, and I think you mentioned it, Josh. We're going to get Pete Dunne slowly getting back to being the bruiserweight. Excuse me, and I can't wait for that because I think that's the Pete Dunne everybody wants to see again.
Absolutely. Yep.
On SmackDown, he looked like the same.
He did.
Like
Same
I watched
here.
parts of SmackDown.
I missed SmackDown this week.
I didn't get to catch Smack. Yeah, but I thought the match, the way they, like you guys were talking, they were hitting. You could see, Sheamus is already pale, so of course it was going to show even more. But still, I don't care who you are. You taking chops from Walter or those hits from Sheamus, you're going to show battle scars. And
You are.
this was a war, and people were standing in ovation. They appreciate how hard these guys fought, and I thought that was just a surreal moment that Sheamus got that, even in a loss. But it was. I agree, because you still got to push Gunther. I think it's still a little early.
Yep.
But then that's the whole idea. Is the whole point of is if your match is that damn good, nobody remembers if you won or lost. They remember the match, and that's what you want
All that matters.
in these matches.
And I think people read too much into that. I didn't understand why should people care about a loss, but that reminded me a match like that. To your point, I mean, people do. They have an admiration. Hey, he may have lost, but heck, it didn't take anything away from him. That was a great match. Like y'all said, it's hard to argue that this wasn't the best match of the night, probably the weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It
agree.
was, yep.
All day.
Liv Morgan
Oh, boy.
retained.
You retained.
Which made me laugh a lot. I know you won, so it made me sad, but at the same
I know
time,
it
just
did.
to watch the
I know it
reactions
did.
of the internet.
Thank you.
I mean, match was fine.
I knew she'd.
It gives her
I
her
knew
first
she-
credible
yeah,
to win.
I
I mean, she did
knew
win
she-
clean.
That's how-
It was okay. I got to admit, I was disappointed, and I wanted to cheer for her, but I was ready for Base to win it, though. I was just going to go out on a limb because I think we're going to see, and we are already seeing the progression of her returning to that killer that we always enjoyed when speaking of Baszler. And that's why Liv Morgan, the feel-good moment's kind of, I think, been told and done repetitively that fans are starting to kind of get tired of Liv. It's nothing against her. Personally, I just think it's the way her character is. And how many times is she going to cry? At first, I thought it was good, but I'm like, okay, I'm getting tired of this.
Crybaby.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to get my tissues every time. We get it.
Yeah.
I know it's a lifelong dream, but that made you want Shayna Baszler to do something bad to her arm. It's like, if you want to cry, I'll give you a reason to. I'm going to actually hurt you.
We know it hurts. Quit crying. We know it hurts. Like,
I think WrestleMania is the only time you're allowed to cry when you win a title or retain a title.
yeah,
After that, being up,
she
woman up, I
snuck
guess.
2 wins on Ronda and Baszler. Honestly, I want to see Charlotte back and get the belt back.
Oh no!
I hate
Well,
to
the
say it.
fans were,
Oh
yeah,
my
hate
God.
it.
they
Well,
were booing. Yeah,
have
they
no-
were.
They have nobody else. Her ring's not
They got
doing
plenty
well.
of people. They do what need Charlotte.
Well, you know Charlotte's going to come back.
They
in.
don't
She's
fucking.
going to fit herself in there. You know
Thank
how
God
she does.
Triple H ain't back there like, man,
She's going to get back in it somehow. I just have a
let's
bad
just
feeling.
put it on Charlotte. No, this
So-
is gone.
Bigger nose, but Charlotte has a bigger.
But
Adam's
you
apple.
know she's going to
Anyway,
get in it somehow. That's how she does.
All right, so we'll
We know.
transition from that. Judgment Day.
We all saw this
against
coming.
Ray.
We did.
All right, I had one issue with it.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
Why is Dominic helping them win the match if he's just going to turn on them 30 seconds later?
Exactly. That was
I
it.
have no
Because
idea.
it was
That was too fast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was.
The logic just doesn't add up.
Well,
Like,
think about it. You're a kid. I can't say him. I know he's like what 20 something. He's a
Yeah.
kid.
he's a man.
And
Now
it's
he's
just-
Did you say it on Raw? He's
Yeah.
a fucking man.
Well, he
now.
got made a man since Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, I got to admit, I'm envious of him.
She's your
Yeah,
poppy,
a little bit.
Dominic.
But he was just like he wasn't sure what he was going to do. He was just doing what he needed to do until he decided to make that decision because they did win the match.
They did.
And then I think after this is me just like telling the story in my own brain. Is after the match was over, he realized that should be me celebrating, not Edge, and that's when he was like, you know what, screw this, and that's when he, went from this, a regular guy like I don't know what I'm gonna do to that. It was Mysterio and Edge actually winning in front of him that made him say that should be me, and then he went off.
He did.
Shut up,
I
man.
can't
So,
blame
so
him.
what you guys are saying, it probably should have built a little more. It was just done quickly, too fast, and without any other story. You could have probably drawn it out. Is that kind of what you're coming
Well,
at it
two
from?
things. One, Judgment Day doesn't need to take a loss there.
No.
I agree with
And
that.
two, having Dominic hit Edge and have Balor pin Edge would have been a more effective way
I agree.
Yeah, I agree
than
too.
what they did.
I agree
And
all
it'd
day.
make a lot more sense.
Yep.
I don't know. Just for me, it's like I watch him interfere, and it's like, all right. Like I looked at, Bennett didn't end up coming over, but another buddy came over, and I was like, yeah. So the heel turns out happening,
No.
and then he turns heel, and it's like,
Post match.
why now?
Right.
Like you
Really?
just helped them win.
You just
like,
helped him.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
the
maybe-
psychology was confusing.
No, I
because
agree.
it's
It was, yeah.
I think the only reason that they did that on Triple H was like, we're at this to throw people off. He thought that we
Probably.
all thought that Mysterio, that Dominic would turn on them and cost them the match. He was like, let's swerve it. Win
I'm
the
not
match,
used to having
but
a
still.
clever person in creative.
Right.
He thinks like we do, and he's
But-
like, "Oh, everybody thinks Dakota Kai and those guys gonna win the belt.
Sure.
Let's put on Raquel and fucking
Aaliyah.
Yeah, see, I appreciate that. Yeah, because we all thought maybe we're going to get surprises, but I think that was the beauty of it. Like you guys are mentioning, we didn't need them. I mean, I'm kind of glad we didn't because, it was easy for us to go, oh, we want to see this, and then we already got Gargano coming back. I think that's going to be down the road if it fits into the story. He may wait and go, hey, I've always got their contact. Maybe I can bring them up later.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I do think whoever was writing this and greenlit it, that was his one mistake. If he did that because just to throw this word, that should have been one we should just all guess and it'd be right too. Because Mr. Dominic should have cost his dad the match.
And turned on him.
I completely agree.
And attack him after.
Yeah, and if Rhea Ripley's going to give me a leg like that, I'm going to turn too.
Exactly.
Oh man,
You gotta love Rhea.
I've got to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
and I hadn't even had anything to drink. I mean,
that is her brutality, man.
Her brutality.
Yeah, it sure is. Of course, I'd be careful because, man, she could really whip you. So beat
Yeah,
you up.
she
For
will.
me. I mean, everybody there would whip me. I can't fight. I've never been in a fight.
No, I haven't either. I try to walk away and just stay out of it.
Well, you walk, I run away, dude. I'm out. I run my mouth, then I
Goodbye. See you later.
So if anything gave Walter, Gunther, and Sheamus a run for
Yeah,
this money,
this one. Yeah.
it was this one.
It was.
Between this and Ricochet and Carmelo Hayes on NXT,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, stellar matches.
those are my top 3 matches.
Mine too.
Gunther and Sheamus being 1, this being 2, Ricochet and Melo being 3.
I
That was
agree.
very good.
Very good.
I like the story of emotion, like the commentators were relaying that story, how the promo, how it lended credibility. They were blurring the lines here, and how it played into the match. Seth was getting Riddle fired up to where that cost him. So I can't wait to see what else is going to happen. I love how Matt Riddle has really blossomed with Orton and now on his own. I think it's just done him wonders, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Finally got an edge.
Finally.
I agree.
Yeah.
And how cool was that stomp from the turnbuckle?
That was
Yeah.
That
cool.
was awesome.
That was.
Oh,
Seth-
that was neat. Yeah.
And as I see,
Instead of losing 3 times in a row.
And that was one of the matches too. We all say and predict, well, this is how it's going to go. Dude, that was going back and forth. I'm like, Riddle's going to win. I'm losing points. Seth is winning. Riddle's losing. It kept going back and forth. The way they were playing that, I was getting like it could go either way.
It could have.
Yeah, that's what makes wrestling so great. I think I've forgotten about it. I don't, I want to be surprised sometimes. I want to expect it, but if they do a swerve like what Josh was talking about, I'm perfectly fine with because that makes me want to be invested. I want to see what's next.
Absolutely.
main event. What's my picture?
This is the one match I was kind of disappointed in. It had such a great build.
Roman Reigns
Yep.
and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, good match. I like more of the facial expressions here by Reigns. I like the way he was showing concern. I mean, they were, once again, the credit to the broadcasters and the way they formulated it. And then Drew looked like the more confident challenger to where you thought in Britain, there's a chance Roman could lose one of the titles. I'll tell you what I enjoy, too, Karrion Kross throwing the water bottle, actually teasing he may help Reigns, but I got a feeling he's going to target Reigns, too, but they wanted to tell the story, hey, he's going after McIntyre, and there was just so many spots. Austin Theory run out, then Tyson Fury knocking him out. That was perfect.
His jaw hurt on Monday night.
I did call last week Cross was going to be there. I did call that. He was there.
You did.
I did. He was in the crowd.
I love Karrion Kross and Scarlett being
too.
back. It just adds so much to what you can do now in the main event picture.
I agree.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of what we expect. Solo Sequoia was a great way.
Mm.
I mean,
Since the Usos
It
weren't
fits.
allowed there,
It fits.
and then
Yep.
now he's called up. So and now people are like, holy shit, there's another one.
Another Uso. Yep.
And then and Sequoia's really fucking.
He is
good.
really
like when you
good.
watch him on NXT.
He's really good.
I
You
believe
could
it.
tell.
Yeah,
that
he's talented.
He's very
He
talented.
was so much better. No offense, NXT. He was so much better than NXT.
He
when
was,
there.
yeah.
Like he was ready. He's like a square and like a circle. I can't even fucking think straight to that.
I know what you're talking about,
like,
though. It's
He's right. He's main roster ready.
He
Already.
is
Like
ready.
as soon as he showed up, straight off the street, they're like, "Oh, okay,
It's in his
the
blood.
guy." Yeah, like
It's in his blood.
and
Yep.
you know what he's going to do when he goes up to the main roster.
He's gonna join the bloodline.
It's
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Now Sami Zayn.
Uh-oh.
you
Yeah,
know,
competition.
Yeah.
Poor
yeah,
Zayn.
he does. And Sami Zayn has just been so entertaining. He's like the Miz. Even though they're different, I can see the comparisons. Talk about guys that are changing with the times, updating themselves, but still stay true in a way. I know that sounds a little weird, but you can kind of draw the parallels.
Consistent. If you're consistent, you can
Consistent.
evolve.
That's the word.
That's it.
Yeah, Solo Sequoia, man, I can't wait to see what he does with the bloodline. I like you guys, I didn't think about that component. That was brilliant to have him interfere.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It
the
was.
Usos ain't allowed or weren't there or weren't allowed there or something.
So far, whatever. What's his name? Sequoia.
Solo Sequoia.
So he has no DUIs. That's good already.
Well, I wasn't going to bring that up, but that is true. I mean, they can't
Press
escape
start.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. Overall, it was a pretty good event for Triple H's first, like,
Yeah, it was
real premium live event. Sounds so weird to say,
I still say pay-per-view.
but
Old school.
say it was pretty good.
It was
They-
good.
Yeah, it was solid.
Fans were fucking in it.
They
and,
were,
like,
they were.
all the corny shit after the fact, like they sung and stuff. Like for me, I didn't give a shit. But, like that's a UK thing, and like because of the crowd, and like
We knew 3 guys that were there.
yeah, and they were probably singing their ass. Like, they did it.
Yeah,
they
I'm
did-
sure they were.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys
Yeah,
like Drew McIntyre's music? His
Yeah,
old-
the Broken Dreams. Yeah, it was cool, and then still give it the regular music. I think that's a nice segue. Kind of leave people going home happy. And you're right, that UK crowd. I think we're passionate at times, man. They were standing. They were at attention. I mean, so that was really neat to see.
There's a fresher breath there. Because I mean, like involved, but like just to see everybody. It was their first big show stadium event since 1992, and it was their first European show since COVID. So they were fucking ready.
They were ready to go.
They were loaded.
Yeah, they have been ready for this for a long time, like I said, a lot of years, and with the pandemic. And it was cool that they had Bret Hart, Adrian Street, so, British and also just Canadian legends because of Davey Boy Smith. That is still a great match. I still love to go watch that one. From SummerSlam 92, wasn't it?
92, yes, sir. Actually, I had to watch that show a while ago for a size show, actually. So I was caught up. I knew
Okay.
what was going on. So-
No, that's an interesting card, but if nothing else, that salvages it, is that main event for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, good event.
It was
Good.
good.
Worlds Collide was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I would never know.
No.
Yeah, right, average.
I
writer.
mean, for the people that watched it, nobody really cares because that's not what they're talking about right now.
No,
Right,
exactly.
so
They're not talking about
it's
the
kind
new-
of
Yeah,
a-
and that's a shame. If there was anything good, it's getting overshadowed by all the other stuff.
MJF return. That's the
Yep.
one good thing. It's been overshadowed AF since that,
That's
which
right.
is sad.
It's sad. It really is.
I think going back to Worlds Collide, everybody was like, why didn't Tyler Bate win? Well, he's already been there, done that. Braun Breaker's your stud. You've got to put him over. So that's I just looked at it pretty simple there.
Sure.
Yeah. Worlds Collide went pretty. I mean, Ricochet and Carmelo. You knew Ricochet wasn't going to win and take
Right.
that fucking title to SmackDown, as they kept like saying he's going to take the North American. It's like no, he's not.
No, he's not.
I think in the US.
He was there for a really good match, and you got a match.
Oh, he was.
out of that, and Carmelo Hayes is so fucking ready to be on the main
He
roster.
is, absolutely.
Yeah, I look for him to be there.
He's ready.
It's just not the time right now.
Nope.
He needs to run, keep this run up, find the next big, have him put them over on his way out like they always do, and then go from there.
I think he's going to be somebody you could put an Intercontinental title or a U.S. title on, and eventually a world title, but don't start him out too quick, but get him, eventually.
Well,
I mean, he's a thoroughbred. I mean, no doubt. And I think you're right, Josh. Give him time because sometimes you rush him and you find out, like Mandy Rose, as attractive and talented as she is, this
Look
has
at
helped
her.
her. Yeah, this has helped her.
She
yeah.
she unified the titles, and not a lot of people would have expected that.
And I want to be the championship belts on that pose. Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Did I say too much? Yeah.
Are.
Yeah, I called it with Mandy Rose. I knew she'd do great down NXT, and she's proved all her haters wrong, as I say.
You did.
No, she has. Seriously, even though I was getting a little comedic there, but she has. That's. I mean, it has done her some good to be back down, and think about how much more important her main roster call-up's going to be now.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, she's going to bring Toxic Attraction with her now too.
Now I wonder if this will be her when she does go to the main roster. If it's going to be Mandy Rose's WWE Monday Night Raw in-ring debut, like it was with Karrion Kross when he came back from that disaster that was his first run,
where they were trying to make him like Demolition or something.
Yeah. I saw more like a weird gimp. That's what I always kind of saw.
That word back in the 80s, and I was a fan of Demolition, but just not in the 2020s. I mean,
some things don't translate, and that was one of them. But that's all completely correct. Mandy Rose, I never thought her gimmick made a whole lot of sense. She just didn't have the fighter in her.
She didn't.
And now she does.
She's on NXT proving everybody wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought that was a very nicely laid out match. That finish was interesting where she got the pin. I think it was Miko that did her little scorpion kick or something. I don't mean to diminish it. I'm just saying it was a form of strike. And then the Davenport, and that left you guessing. See, I like finishers like that. They make you think, well, hey, listen, I didn't expect it. So that's what I mean by surprise, even within the match.
I'm glad it was awesome. I didn't watch it.
It was a good match. Good for her winning.
No, you're fine. I was just recounting that as well. And I thought the tag team match, what did you guys think of the women's tag team matchup?
It was okay.
It was good. I'm glad Doudrop and Nikki Ash is getting what they deserve.
I mean,
more
they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, they dominated the whole match and lost. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I figured you want to showcase your NXT team a little more. The Creed brothers losing.
Yeah, the guy turned. Yeah, the guy turned on.
There was a heel turn. So.
Yeah.
And there's still something to the whole Roderick Strong thing. I think we'll see that play out.
I think they needed to get the belts off of them because I think they're going to be on the main roster faster than
they need to.
I'll tell you what, I love the way they can, their kind of amateur background and the way they're so athletic, and they've got that look anyways, to your point, Josh. And I can't wait to see what they can do in a Raw or SmackDown in the future.
Oh, yeah.
I need them for
there we
as soon as possible.
That'd be a great match.
That will be real good. I agree.
That'll tear the house down, as they say.
Slobber knocker.
A slobber knocker? Okay, quit doing that daggum flippy move. That don't get over here. Come on, shut up, Excalibur. I was like, now they're promoting you to the lead announcer. My goodness, back in my day, Cowboy Bill Watts would hate that, do the JR spill. He'd find your tail for a move like that,
I still love me some JR, dude.
I do too. I think he's just in that position where he's out there having fun, being drunk, and he can get aggravated if he needs to at somebody.
Sure. So. I mean, why not in his age? You could retire or keep making money and do whatever the fuck you want.
Absolutely.
Do that.
He's going to have a brown mule with him, and that makes it more entertaining because he's getting drunk as he's doing. I love how he does call out the referees and wrestlers, though, because somebody of his experience needs to. I mean, he'll say it. He don't shy away from the mic saying it. He's like, why didn't that referee, why is he in that position? Why is that? And I'm thinking, he's bringing up some good points.
I mean, he gets the psychology. He's been doing this his entire life. He gets all of that psychology. How many live matches has he seen in his life?
Right.
Like, he gets what they should and shouldn't be. Like, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to research that, actually, and get the number of how many he's actually done.
That'd be a neat stat. I agree. I like that.
Oh, it would be. And it'd be a lot better than reading about, we got this 20-star matchup. Let's be real,
We have this huge coming up tonight.
Huge announcement.
Yeah. And I hate to be like that, but
our whole show.
Intern champion.
Well, now I'll give this show a lot of star rating. I'm just thinking, why do we need to rate matches? How about we just like a Gunther Sheamus match? Let's just say it's a great match. It's a classic.
I agree with that. We'll start trying to break it down and have all these little stats and stars. Yeah. It takes away the it takes away from it.
The mystique a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. We covered everything.
We did.
That was
and I hope I was okay, man. It's just been a long time. I was afraid I was rusty, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna be slow. And
you're never going to have. You're never coming.
I know. Well, Josh told me it's one and done. He's like, this is your. Yeah, he's like, you're fired. He's like, I'm gonna have to get Jimmy back so I can put him in a blue steel cage and put him on top of the Tokyo Dome or something like that. Or
you do have a
that conversation with Jimmy does need to happen.
Yeah, I agree. We have to have the
Especially
follow
after,
up.
No, I enjoyed that. I think you guys. I was like when Jimmy said he's like, yeah, I'm going on Josh and Yvonne and Ben's show. I'm like, oh, that's
Whoa.
Yeah,
Name?
Jimmy.
What's my name on this show? You just said my room name. This isn't a backstage. You're not CM. What is this?
I knew I would screw it up. I've called you everything from.
Fine.
No, he's right though. I should know it. And by goodness,
Mr.
I just buried him. I mean, I'm no different CM Punk. I can't.
You don't know who that is.
Yeah, no.
Here, brother.
No, yeah, he's laughing because he's like, okay, Josh, go ahead and fire this guy. Talk about suspensions. We need to get rid of him because he can't remember. Just call me JR after midnight. What's your name? No,
We'll have John Laurinaitis call you.
oh yeah,
People power.
Just do not get in the car with
yeah. Hey, my guns look good, Vince. Yeah. Okay, I can't hardly do it. Whatever his voice is, but
What was her number?
yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, Vince, after you get done with her, I'll have her. Thank you. No. I couldn't help it. I mean, that's probably awful, but that's true. Yeah,
That was amazing.
That will probably be used in court down the line.
I actually talk about copyright infringement. I'll have attorneys going, okay, that's some nobody really just made an impersonation, and I want him in trouble.
Chuck did one on Vince.
Oh my God, that was so
That was good.
Hey, you're done with her, I have.
Can I?
Yeah.
I'll tell you when you're done.
It's just speaking the honesty.
I don't think we could end the show any better.
No.
Like that was dead
No,
on.
I think that's it.
We need more Laurinaitis impersonations, Tyler.
Yeah, we do.
You'll
He's
be
like,
back because of that. You just saved your career here at RSA.
well, did that help? I go,
Good sex joke always is lame.
yeah, that works, don't it? He could go, Vince, did you shave down there? He's like, get ready. We got the paralegal tonight. He's like, okay. He's like, all right, pal. I don't need creative anymore. I've got it now.
How much
so
do I
there you
do?
go.
Yep.
I'm terrible. And then Paul Bear's like, oh, yes. And then Brother Love could go, I love you, and thank God Triple H didn't fire me. Oh, yes. No. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I love all those shows. I love Conrad's show with Bruce, too.
I love it.
I've stole his gimmick, and now Bruce Pritchard's going to go, so this idiot down in Tennessee's trying to, that's what he's doing.
We talked about it, and then that's
You're gonna
podcast.
get buried on Vince Russo show.
I will. Oh, bro, I was booking Raw since back in 20. Bro, I was doing. Bro, let me tell you, Vince and Triple H just don't get it. I was booking the handout of Mae Young. I mean, I get it. Mark Henry was having her baby. I was like, give me a break, Vince Russo. I mean, with all due respect, you hadn't been booking in a long time. In your head, maybe, but.
I don't think he's actually. He never really booked. Yeah, he
Dude,
wrote
I'm
shit, but
dead.
it was all terrible.
He just don't have
I
sense.
haven't
He don't have
cried
common sense.
since you're how much?
How much? Right on Scarlett's picture.
How much?
How much?
How many people?
Scarlett's picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Vince Russo's probably like, oh, yeah, man, he's like, Tyson Fury, I booked that. I got with Triple H. I got with Heyman. I got with Bret the Hitman Hart. We laid out the match. And I'm thinking, what kind of drug are you on, bro?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
The same one Tony Khan's on, probably.
Yeah, probably the same one.
RSH is sponsored by cocaine. It's good for you, and it opens up your nostrils.
And
Michael Irvin uses it.
Of course,
Tony
Oh, that hurts, man, as a Cowboys fan. Wow, that's a low blow.
Chuck's neighbor uses it.
Oh.
It's world
Okay.
known.
It's
Well,
true.
it definitely opens you
My
up.
neighbor
So,
uses it.
not that I would know.
Everybody in my hometown uses it.
Yeah, mine too.
Well, we know why Tony's. No wonder he's got those expressions. Let's be fair.
Yeah, he's always
Hey,
fucking
we
right.
know what he's doing.
I got an alternative for Weight Watchers. Bam!
It worked. It don't work. Don't
You
screw it up.
I've got an alternative for how to run a company. So,
Not a wrestling company, just a
The
company.
cocaine's clouding his judgment. He
feeling
don't have no
fat,
mind.
Get a
So-
line of that. Cocaine
That's
by
awesome.
Tony Khan. Okay.
All right, guys. On that note, I think we have insulted so many of you who love the show already. But that's right, because you will be right back here next weekend, sometime between 6:12 and 6:20, probably. Or next not weekend. Actually,
Prepare for the same
it
nonsense.
just keeps you guessing. Yeah.
We're taking a week off.
we're taking a week off
We
next
are.
week.
And then we might have Raj might come on
Oh, there
from
we go.
Wrestling Inc.
Oh, that's cool.
There we go.
in our DMs.
Yeah, that's exciting news. I'll definitely be tuning in like always to have Raj.
He's a writer for Wrestling Inc. and he's like one of their
Big
when the
guys.
news comes out, he's there.
There
He's
you
the
go.
most honest, blunt guy they have.
There you
If
go.
you don't
I dig
like it, he fucking tells you.
That's how you
He's
do
one of
it.
my favorite follows, and he said, he couldn't do it tonight. He said this 2 days ago. I've been slacking
Sure.
Twitter.
Yeah.
And then he was like, maybe next week. I'm just gonna ask him if the 21st works.
There we go.
Try to get him on.
Perfect.
But
I can't wait to watch that, and I'll just say that's not the tope suicida, whatever the heck, and I'll just make fun of some move that Excalibur made up. Where'd you come up with that? What part of Mexico, Japan, or maybe India did you come up with that maneuver? I don't know why I had to go to that. Forgive me.
That was a
Congrats.
good one.
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. I love
I'm
it.
getting silly here. All the impersonations have made me loopy, and plus the Tony Khan cocaine. So
Cocaine does that to a person.
It does.
Well, be sure to continue to follow, because I know you all do already. Be sure to continue to follow Tyler Peters
oh well, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
at WrestleBuddy. Same thing with Josh at WrestleBuddy.
Yeah,
Same thing
Josh too.
with Baby at
Yeah.
WrestleBuddy.
Yeah,
And be
Jimmy
sure-
Baby. Yeah, my
Yeah.
goodness.
He'll be back and he'll be like, CM Punk, bro. Man, that's not a good
He's
impression.
coming for Josh.
That
We
was-
know. We know.
And also, as you all know, be sure to keep following RSH Wrestling over at SJP World Media. Leaded, how do you say that word? By Cy.
I like how you said it.
Yeah.
I can't even spell, so what's the matter?
You said, I like how you said it.
I do too.
All kinds of amazing podcasts, some wrestling, some not wrestling. Check it out. Be there or be square. And until next time, continue to fear
Square line.
regularly scheduled